What's that sound? It's For Amusement Only, the EM and Bingo Pinball Podcast.
Welcome back to For Amusement Only. This is Nick Baldridge. Tonight I just wanted to focus in directly on high tap. Now, I've talked before in my Transformer episode about what exactly this is, but I just thought I would give direct focus on what it is, why you might need to use it, and why you shouldn't use it if you don't need to. High tap is a way of providing 5 to 10 extra volts of power, or more, perhaps, on any given game. The idea being, if the electricity was kind of finicky or flaky, that you could increase the power to try to overcome some of those low line conditions. Now, the only issue with doing high tap is that because there's increased power, if you don't have low line conditions, then you're essentially operating the game out of tolerance, and things are going to break or get clobbered in ways that the game doesn't intend for them to be. While yes, it can make up for weak or worn parts, it's much better to repair those parts, refurbishing flippers or pop bumpers or what have you, than it is to just set the game on high tap and hope everything will be okay. Now, the way that you do this is typically specified in either the schematic or the manual, and sometimes on the transformer itself. There's normally a lug that is labeled as high tap, and you move the wire from normal to high tap. Now, if you think about how a transformer works, and again, I've been over this before, but it's essentially wire wrapped around a core. So the high tap is just basically extra windings, which provide a stronger magnetic field, and there you have it. Now, some games actually have a Jones plug adjustable high tap. Now, there's an exception to my don't put your game on high tap, and that is if you do have low line conditions. So say you're operating multiple games off of a single outlet via use of a power strip, and you're essentially dropping the line voltage with each game that you plug into that power strip. So at some point there's a turning point, hopefully before the breakers trip, where you'll need to set the games on high tap to get normal performance out of them. Also, if you live in a rural area that has questionable electric power, this can be necessary. But for the vast majority of folks in the United States, at least, this is probably not necessary. Of course, you can do with your game whatever you choose. It's just not something that I would do. And that's not to say that I know everything or that I know anything at all. But what I do know is that I tend to prefer rebuilt assemblies and properly functioning mechanisms to overpowered shotgun style coil firing, but that's me. So that's all for tonight. Thank you to Credit Pinball, Rod McLarge, for suggesting this topic. My name again is Nick Baldridge. If you'd like to recommend a topic, you can reach me at foramusementonlypodcast@gmail.com, or you can call me on the Bingos line. That's 724-BINGOS1, 724-246-4671. You can listen to us on iTunes, Stitcher, Pocket Casts via RSS, on Facebook, on Twitter at Bingo Podcast. And if you've been following me on Instagram or have listened to any of the previous 250-odd episodes, you'll know that my prior Instagram name was N. Baldridge, but I just changed it to Bingo Podcast. So now my Twitter and Instagram handles match. And if you happen to see me on Pinside, my handle there is also Bingo Podcast. You can reach me any of those ways. I'm happy to converse with whomever, however you choose. So take your pick. You can also listen to us on our website, of course, which is foramusementonly.libsyn.com. Thank you very much for listening, and I'll talk to you next time.